welcome back to somm.tube. We have Greg Laketek here of Salumi Chicago, as well as Superjessico of Cream Wine Company. Today we are talking luckily about this beautiful tequila Arette from Cream Wine Company. There are 4 variations paired with these beautiful Salumis from Salumi Chicago, a chorizo salumi and andouille spreadable variation.
Awesome. Thank you, Rachel. Well, just a quick little story about Arette, old school family, the Orandines and El Llano tequila. So they've been around since literally the 19th century, and we're very proud to represent these in Chicago. And we're going to taste through the Blanco, the Reposado, the Añejo, and then we have the Extra Añejo too.
Exciting.
I forgot about that.
The color shift's really cool between all of them. I know that aging is different between all of them.
Right. So obviously all Blue Weber estate agave in the town, the district of Tequila. There's a volcano there, so it's a spent volcano, but lots of volcanic soil. So that contributes obviously to the Blue Weber agaves and the water sources. The coolest thing about the Arette Suave Artisan line is they do brick oven baking of their agaves, and then they also do a really cool ferment in concrete. So open ferments with concrete instead of the classic wood or stainless steel, so you get all these different nuances and flavor profiles. Really beautiful. So we'll just dig into it, right? Let's try the Blanco, the Reposado. Spends 6 months in classic X whiskey bourbon barrels, 1 year in the Añejo, and then the Extra Añejo super special we've got 4 years, but the Blanco is obviously
Bring this over. So,
classic. Oops, a little bit heavy on the corner.
Fun afternoon, guys. So I think the concept here is what we're going to pre-taste everything and decide which would work best with the chorizo salumi and the andouille, correct?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Excellent.
Why don't you walk us through this guy? I'm used to smelling through wine aromas.
Yeah,
but
right.
I guess
yeah.
not
So you're gonna
deciphering.
get a lot of natural, fruit flavors, spice, herbal, obviously notes of wood influences as well. But classic Blanco with Arette is very, very citrusy, very green, fruit oriented. There's obviously some nice spice in there as well, but it's all about floral, tropical green fruits, kind of like underripe pineapples, maybe some green apples. But once again, because of the volcanic soils and the concrete, and obviously the brick oven baked, you get a lot of really cool nuances from that.
The palate is really integrated. I mean, it's not aggressive. It's really lovely.
The texture, like Blanco is always my favorite. A lot of people gravitate towards more barrel aged, but at the end of the day, like if the Blanco is not good, then the rest of the lineup's not good because everything else is just sitting in oak casks. So you kind of dress it up,
Sure.
Which is good. But yeah, so Blancos are always my favorite, and then Reposados and Añejos, they get that special flavors from the barrels.
Is lime blossom a possible descriptor in this? I don't know.
Awesome. I am going to steal that.
Lime blossom.
Yeah.
I am, yes,
Like a
very
lime leaf or the blossom of the leaf before
Blossom
the fruit.
of the leaf before. the
Yeah,
fruit.
not the leaf itself.
No.
No.
Yeah, no.
Definitely the blossom.
That's great. Yeah, floral for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the flowers, and yeah, I really like lime blossom. That's really cool.
Thanks.
But the texture, the mouthfeel is, it's very, very viscous.
It
Nice
is,
salinity to it.
But it's got really pretty fruit, so I think it's
Right, and
lush.
you're gonna, everything is distilled 40%, 80 proof, so it's gonna have some heat, but it's not. It shouldn't burn to an extent where it's
It doesn't
a
burn.
flaw. A lot of obviously inexpensive tequilas, it's a whole other ballgame.
We won't
But,
name names.
Yeah, exactly.
Should we move on to the?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We're just. Yeah. It's Friday, right? So
Unless
the
we're
first
gonna-
the first pour was a little too much.
Happy Friday. Agave is one spirit that's an upper, right?
Yes, in fact,
Really?
Yes.
wine was, my passion still is, but I got into agave, very upper, very upper.
Right.
So you just drink straight tequila all night. You're gonna
Oh
have
my goodness.
have a good night.
When you get home.
All right.
Here.
Sorry.
So next up, we're gonna check out the Reposado, the Suave Reposado from Arette. So by law, Reposado has to be aged 2 months in barrel, and they always have to be American white oak. So that's where bourbon country and whiskey country comes into play. So all the one-time use barrels, God bless them, they're going to Mexico and they're making some fantastic aged tequila. So the Orandines, Eduardo and Jaime, are pretty classic with their styles. They do just about, it changes a little bit with each batch, but it's about 6 months in barrel. So you're going to get some nuances from that, from the American white oak, and they have their sources that they use. So they do a combination of bourbon distillers and whiskey distillers as well. So
It's a maximum of a year, right, for Reposado? Or
Reposado,
is it 6 months?
it's
I don't remember.
Reposado is minimum 2 months, and we've done some single barrels where we have almost gone 10, 11 months.
Okay.
So that's a very good question. I don't think there's really a maximum on the Reposado. Actually, no, I take that back, because the minimum on the Añejo is 12 months.
Yeah, a year to
So-
3 years, right?
Correct. So the Añejo is 12 months,
Okay.
and then extra Añejos go on and on.
3
So
plus, right?
Mhm.
Cool. This progression to a touch of oak, right?
I really like the minerality. There's a really nice nuttiness to the Reposado. I mean, if talking about our Italian wine passions, hazelnuts kind of come to mind on the
Yeah.
nose.
It's getting
So you get
black
some
walnut.
Ooh,
walnut. Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Black walnut, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or almond.
So some baked. You start to get the baked agave notes coming in, a little bit of that classic
I
caramelized.
almost get like a
flavors.
clay thing on the palate. Is that weird?
That's the concrete for
Yeah,
sure. I mean,
right.
these,
It's coming
there's
through.
very, very few tequila distillers that are doing concrete.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mostly stainless steel or classic wood, open bat, and the concrete's definitely lends that really cool flavor profile to it.
They're uppers. Just don't drink any of the wine afterwards.
So we're going to move on to the Añejo now, which is 12 months for the barrel age.
Okay.
This is fun.
Yeah, this is so cool, doing these all in progression. I'm already forming thoughts about the pairing potentials
Yes,
here.
I can't wait to get into that with you guys.
Am I wrong? Did the citrus come back on this one?
Let's check it out.
Totally. I get like a burnt orange rind or something like
Yeah.
that. Like,
Oh,
or
wow.
candied orange
Awesome.
peel. Yeah. Ginger.
Ginger,
Yeah.
huh?
Oh man, it's so refreshing, like tasting with you guys, because you're both super knowledgeable. I mean, I taste this with many professional bartenders and whatnot, but having with your wine background is and the food is very important to have all those components.
Thanks for saying that.
The only thing
This
that's
is fun.
good to note is the Añejo is not a really, I mean, it's not a super dark. You can
Yeah.
look at the color, and there's honestly not a whole lot of difference between the Reposado and the
very,
Añejo,
very slight.
which is a good thing. Once you get to the 4-year extra Añejo, it's another topic of conversation. But a lot of times, you have to have the conversation about who's adding caramel coloring and all that, because that does happen.
Yes.
Quite
the
often.
additives
Mm-hmm.
is a bad thing, from what I've learned. Now I get like a black pepper now on the palate versus the Reposado.
Sure.
That ginger thing is still present to me on
Yeah.
the palate.
That's great. That's so cool. I mean, I haven't picked up on that. That's awesome.
It's like
But-
crystallized but not sweet. Like
Right.
it's got the spice. If that makes sense.
The fullness, you guys can see the difference in the texture as well.
Very much so. Yeah. I love it.
Añejo classically for sipping or, an old-fashioned cocktail. Blanco is kind of your classic for your palomas and your margaritas and other agave cocktails. Añejo is just beautiful for sipping, but the Suave line is all about, it's delicious by itself, and it's only going to make, pretty much whatever it goes with great. All right, cool. All right, so I check in with a very special añejo. This is a Grand Clase Extra añejo, so 4 years. So extras need to be at least 2. Sometimes they go to 3, and Arette is doing 4 years in there, so pretty exciting. Let's check it out.
Very exciting.
So during the 4 years, does it go into any different barrels? I'm pretty naive as how tequila works. Do they just leave in that barrel and say, okay, we're gonna make this reposado, let's pull this out early, let's make this añejo, just leave it a little bit
Great
longer?
question. Great question. So the Orandines have a pretty decent, well, it's still considered industry, small for the industry as far as their barrel room is, the size is considered, but they do, just like in bourbon whiskeys, you have all the different areas of the rick houses that generate different heats and humidity levels, so you're going to have that sweet spot barrel. But no, these are actually all staggered throughout, so they're spending times in their original barrels.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
There's so many things going on.
This is the candied.
Yeah.
This is the candied
Almost like
añejo.
cinnamon.
I usually drink a lot of this in the fall and the winter, and
Yeah.
the winters in Chicago last for 6 months. So,
Brown
it's
sugar.
one of our colleagues, our good friend Paolo. This is
His
his
go-to.
favorite. Yeah, he wants some now. And dude, it's coming in. So, very blessed to try it out.
I almost
today.
get that chocolate covered orange that I got that in my stocking every Christmas.
Nice.
And I don't know, I still get the caramelized orange peel, but
Yeah.
somehow something richer added into it. It's
Very nice, kind of the minerality, that leady minerality. I tend to pick up a lot on the extra añejo. It's a lot of time in barrel, so it's very complex. It's definitely you're talking about tequila. You could just talk and talk. So
well, this is really delicate on the palate. I'm surprised. The oak is so well integrated. It's pretty. If that's an
yes,
appropriate.
very elegant, right? I mean, across
Yeah.
the board, Arette is very refined, very elegant, and very easy to drink. Maybe too easy to drink. So
This would be problematic in my house, I think, but
Easy to drink, difficult to explain, Salumi.